The rematch is now set. Andy Ruiz Jr. will travel to Saudi Arabia and give Joshua a chance back at his belts with Vada testing. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. So good news this past week after a tumultuous kind of build up that had a lot of people scratching their head with a lot of different questions. It looks like Andy Ruiz has sent off his portion, and he announced it on his social media, verified social media, that he was going to be taking on Joshua in Saudi Arabia. Now, the reason this is important, even though Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua announced the fight December 7th in Saudi Arabia, Team Ruiz was fighting for a few different things to be, amended or changed. And it got to the point where it was going so back and forth that Eddie Hearns didn't like the standoff that, the fit that Andy Ruiz was putting up, and he felt he had enough data in the contract that Ruiz signed, so he was about to sue him. Not about to, he actually filed, him and the people, they filed a lawsuit, which is now going to be dismissed because they were able to amicably work it out, because obviously nobody wants to go through a legal process, especially if you guys come to terms late. But it was getting ugly. Eddie Hearns had a press conference with one of the organizers that's putting on the Saudi Arabia event. No fighters were there. Joshua wasn't there. Ruiz wasn't there. PBC, Ruiz's side. No one from Team Heyman. I didn't get no emails from PBC, nothing. So people were just wondering, like, yo, is this fight really going to go down? And Andy Ruiz was, and it might have been employed, but he was saying that the fight's going to come back to the USA. So whatever it was, it seems to have worked, because Andy Ruiz has now got things in the contract that he wanted. For starters, for him and his family and like travel, he wanted, like, I guess increased security or something, because he's traveling to Saudi Arabia, which is on the travel advisory list. So they had to be able to ensure that, I mean, I don't know the details, but they had to ensure that he's going to be in a secure place and added security, just put some people on the security detail or whatever. But another thing that pertains to the fight that I was interested in is they will do Vada testing, and they're going to do a couple months worth of Vada testing starting in about September, which is great news. Listen, heavyweight fight, this is what we want to see. Vada testing, clean boxing program, just the heavyweight division. We've seen fighters die this year, and the heavyweight division, one punch can change everything. We've seen the recent and heard, which is still kind of in limbo, but Dillian White, a matchroom fighter, a rematch room fighter, failed a drug test. And the other team, Oscar Rivas' team, his opponent, was not given any previous knowledge of it. And they had to find out with the rest of the public and the media, and that's not right. So I'm glad that they're doing Vada testing. I don't know exactly how it's going to work out since the fight is in Saudi Arabia. I don't know where Joshua plans on training. For his U.S. debut in New York, he trained in Miami, and that was obviously disastrous, and he lost all his belts. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't imagine, since the fight's not in the U.S., I doubt he comes back out here unless he gets... He was talking about adding another trainer. So if he goes with the U.S. trainer, then it's possible he trains out here. If he adds somebody to, to give a second set of eyes, a second look to help to ensure the victory with Rob McCracken, but he might train at home in the UK, or he might even go to Saudi Arabia or, Dubai, somewhere in the UAE to train. So I guess they're going to have to outsource it, and the fighter's going to have to be available. Same thing with Andy Ruiz. His thing shouldn't be that bad because he's in the United States, and I know they have tons of people within Vada that test in California, because we've seen major fights. You know, Sean Porter and Errol Spence, a ton of fights. Like Sean Porter's, he's the WBC champion, so he's with the clean boxing program. So I know it's not going to really be a problem for Andy Ruiz to be able to give blood because he trains out there in SoCal. But I don't know where Joshua's going to be. I guess we have to wait and see. But I'm glad they were able to add this type of stuff in there, especially the Vada testing. Gerald Miller and Dillian White have accused Anthony Joshua for being on twos, which is therapeutic exemptions, and they're saying he was using testosterone, like some TRT, and getting exemptions from doctors and stuff. So I don't know where he's going to be training. I don't know if it's going to be those types of things are plausible, but I'm glad at least it's in the paperwork, and you know, hopefully everything's on the up and up. Let me know what you guys think. I'm glad they got the fight over the line, because for a minute it was looking like, are they even going to fight? You know, it was just so much back and forth. And I think especially casuals, I think the real sufferers are the diehard boxing fans. We go through premature stoppages, we go through bad judges, scorecards, and you know, fights not happening over politics. The real sufferers are the hardcore boxing fans, because we stay loyal to it no matter how boxing fucks us over. But when things go like back and forth, you might not lose all the diehard fans, because we stick through the bullshit. But I think you miss a lot of the casuals with it, because some people, they have their own jobs, lives, kids, things like that, and they're somewhat of fans, so they're not going to stay around for all the banter and the back and forth and fighterless press conferences and stuff. So I'm glad they got it resolved, because some people that kind of turns them off when it becomes this big telenovela, like, you know, this big soap opera, and it's this big Young and the Restless promotion on a fight. They just want to see it. You look at different organizations like fighting, UFC, you don't really see this. You don't really see all the drama, and I understand their setup is a bit different, but you know, that just misses people. Even the hardcores, because I know I was getting tired of it. You know, I was getting tired of just even hearing about if it was going to happen or not. You know, there's just so much stuff going on in boxing. People don't want to be consumed with fights not happening and politics and standoffs and stuff. So I'm glad they figured it out, and this fight has Vada testing, and they have a sufficient amount of time, because the fight's not till December, so they can do a few months of Vada testing, which is good. I just hope everything's on the even playing field, on the up and up. That is the latest. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you are new, consider subscribing to the channel. I talk about boxing. I go to cover the fights, give you guys the latest and greatest. Sign up for ESPN Plus below is in the description of all my videos. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.